Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I made an announcement yesterday that I won't be flying anytime soon if I can help it. God forbid. I did the story yesterday about the plane crash out there in Toronto, Canada. Shout out Toronto. And in which it was 76 people on board, 4 plus 4 crew members on a Delta plane that flipped over on the runway after hitting a strong crosswind, knocking off the wings. Listen, I'm one of them people. I'm being honest with you guys. You like my family, I talk to y'all. I'm one of these guys where I'm like, things are going to be what they're going to be. Every time I get on a plane, I love flying on planes, don't get me wrong. I was in the Air Force, did crash recovery, all that type of stuff. I'm one of them, it's going to be what it's going to be people, right? If it's your time, it's your time. So I try not to be scared about stuff like this, but I mean, this is alarming, the amount of planes that are crashing. You guys been contacting me in the comment section saying, hey, 2 planes crashed over the weekend and stuff. I know. A lot of news you guys send me, I'm in tune with all of these news outlets. That's how I get these stories. And you guys do help with sending me stories. But I see those stories. The reason why I don't cover all these plane crashes is, number one, they're small single jet planes. They crash a lot. They do. And another thing is, and I want you to see this, I do it strategically because if I keep putting up plane crash after plane crash after plane crash in succession, it'll trick the algorithm into thinking this is a plane crash channel or something dealing with aviation. And it'll knock me right out of the loop. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things about being a content creator. You got to be careful of what you put out in succession. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm glad these people are alive. And some credit need to go to the pilot. It does, because when planes are landing, that's under the pilot's control. I said yesterday when we covered this story that was a crosswind that did that, because you could see the way the plane landed. It was flipped upside down. You know what I'm saying? One wing was knocked off. When planes lose wings, usually it's from a contact situation. I worked around planes. Ain't nothing but aluminum sheets that make the fuselage up, you know, and panels and stuff like that. Planes look like they made out of all steel. They not, because they have to have a certain amount of weight. Aluminum and stuff like that is what planes is made out of. And they're not indestructible, and you've seen it in the pictures, and you've seen it in the videos yesterday. But I was planning to go to Vegas this weekend for like a mini vacation, you know, to celebrate me making 100K subscribers, and it's not worth it to me. You know what I'm saying? I got a wife, got a kid. I'm not going through that. And like y'all was like, Steve, yo, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I got to listen. You know what I'm saying? I have y'all on here. I'll be telling y'all to be careful. I got to take my own advice sometimes, you know. But here's an update on the story, and we'll come back and talk about it. I ain't flying nowhere no time soon. Check it.
A Delta passenger jet crash landing a short time ago in Toronto. Here is the stunning image of how it came to a stop. You see the plane upside down on the runway at Toronto Pearson International Airport. One wing gone and no tail left. Delta Flight 4819, carrying 76 passengers and 4 crew members, was coming in for a landing from Minneapolis when the accident occurred. Emergency crews were on the scene in those frigid conditions. Deep, dark marks visible along one of the engines of the plane. The airport says all on board accounted for, and there were thankfully no fatalities. But several people are hurt, including some in critical condition. Tom Costello joins us live with some new reporting. Tom, good evening.
Yeah, Tom, this happened at 2:45 p.m. in Toronto. The response from firefighters, immediate. The airport was closed for several hours, just opening now. But amazingly, everybody got out of this plane alive. On the runway in Toronto, a terrifying end for Delta Flight 4819.
Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
Lying upside down on the runway, an Endeavour Air regional jet had just arrived from Minneapolis in gusty winds when something went terribly wrong.
This airplane just crashed at 23.
As thick black smoke poured from the plane, firefighters smothered the scene in foam. The right wing ripped off, the fuselage bearing what appeared to be skid or soot marks.
Everything, drop it!
All 80 people on board managed to escape through the emergency exits.
I was walking to this fence and I could see a CRJ that is possibly crashed on the airport. The airplane is flipped.
18 people injured and transported to area hospitals, including 2 airlifted to trauma centers. 1 child rushed to Children's Hospital in Toronto.
I've seen a few people on stretchers that we have transported. I have seen one person with a sling on their arm, and I've seen others that are just potentially exposure type injuries because it is very cold here.
The plane, a Bombardier CRJ 900 regional jet made in Canada, is a workhorse for short-haul flights worldwide. At the time of the crash, it was 18 degrees with 20 to 30 mile-per-hour winds and strong crosswinds. The question for investigators, how and why did the plane lose at least one, maybe both wings on landing, then flip over, causing jet fuel to spill onto the runway?
I think it's possible the wing may have touched the runway due to a gust, and if that's the case, then the rest of this makes sense. But the recorders are going to show that.
In a statement, Delta says our primary focus is taking care of those impacted. The flight was carrying a total of 80 people, 76 passengers, and 4 crew. The investigation now will be led by the Canadian Transportation Safety Board, with both the U.S. FAA and NTSB assisting.
Tom, let's talk about those conditions now. The airport was dealing both with heavy snow and, as you mentioned, winds gusting up to 38 miles per hour.
Yeah, it was frigid. The tower reporting winds from the west at 28 miles per hour, gusting to 38 at the time of the crash. And as we said, 18 degrees and a lot of snow on the ground there, Tom.
And Tom, we also have that incredible video, right? Talk to us about the pilot and the crew getting so many out safely.
Yeah, the bottom line here, in an emergency, the orders from the flight deck and from the flight attendants are to get out as fast as you can. And of course, you've got a lot of people who are buckled in, and they tell them, don't grab your bag, don't grab your suitcase, don't grab your coat, get out, get out, get out. That's the priority for the flight attendants, and then help others get out as well.
Tom Costello leading us off tonight. Tom, we thank you for that. For more on this breaking story, we're joined tonight by Jeff Guzzetti, an NBC News aviation analyst and a former FAA and NTSB investigator. So, Jeff, looking at these images of the plane, completely upside down, those markings along one of the engines, no tail, a missing wing, what does all of that tell you?
Well, it tells me that something went awry during landing. And just as Captain Cox had indicated earlier, typically, whenever an airplane ends up upside down like this, it drags a wing. And the stiff winds were coming from the right crosswind, which means you would counter with lowering your right wing, and perhaps it struck something and caused the airplane to cartwheel. But, you know, commercial airline events like this should not occur during landing.
Shit. Not doing it. Hell no. Listen, can you imagine these people just thinking about going through all that noise, all that crashing, all that banging, all that plane engine screaming, hysteria, all of that stuff, right? Then you wake up after it's over, when a plane comes to a stop, and you trying to self-process everything, you hanging upside down like a lot of them people that took pictures. You get out the plane. They pushing people in the ass, telling everybody, get out, get out, get out. Man, that's some scary shit. That pilot, man, I respect him. You know what I'm saying? Because when planes are landing, that's under the pilot's control. He did a good job. He did his best he could against the crosswind and all that type of stuff. I've never flown, like I've flown a lot of times. I've never encountered any type of turbulence except once. And it was like briefly, like just a bump. I've never experienced what a lot of people say they experience with turbulence and stuff like that, where the plane just feel like it's dropping. I've never experienced that. The only thing I've ever experienced that scared me was I was coming from Orlando, Florida, back to Houston, right? Visiting my granddad. I'm on a plane and the pilot was like, listen, we are 20 minutes late. So we're going to have to make it as fast as we can to catch up this time to stay on schedule. The takeoff is going to be rough. And he gave us all a warning. He was like, it'll be temporary. It might be uncomfortable. Some of you guys might like it. He said it just like that. He said, but it's going to be a different trip than you've seen before. So be prepared when we take off. Make sure your seatbelts are on. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Get on there. We take off. I'm sitting in first class, and in front of me is a seat next to where the pilots are at. You know, the pilots are in that cabin. Then it's a seat that faces everybody that the flight attendant is sitting in. I'm sitting in the second row. We take off. The plane takes off like this. Instead of going up like that, it went up like this. It took off, and then he just pulled it, and the shit just went up like that. The pull and the thrust was so intense. It was like I could feel it, like my blood like moving in my body. It was weird. And I'm sitting there and the lady's facing me. The plane was almost up like this. Her hair was hanging over her face. And I looked up. I was scared. She was looking right at me. And she gave me thumbs up. I said, you're fucking out of your mind. You're out of your mind. That right there, I was like, damn, that was the most intense shit. And it had to be about a whole 45 seconds of an incline. I looked out the window, man. The fucking earth was like, shh. I was like, nah. Damn. You know what I'm saying? But that's the strangest thing I ever had. But something like that scared the shit out of me. See, there's one thing about me. I'm not afraid to let people know when I'm scared or when I'm frightened or when I'm worried. I don't fuck all that machismo shit. When it comes to nature and man, all that tough shit fly out the fucking window when you pressed hard enough. You know what I'm saying? That shit right there, my black ass, soon as we got down and it stopped and I seen people's hair hanging upside down and I knew I wasn't dead, I'd have pulled my seatbelt, landed on my head, I'd have flew out that damn door. When I jumped down and land, fuck taking pictures. I see the ambulances and the fire engines throwing that flame retardant foam and shit. I'd have ran right in the goddamn bushes. I'd have ran right through the tarmac. What the hell is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Sir, come back. Fuck you. You stay there. I'm ethos. I'm going. I would have left. I'm not dealing with shit like that. Listen, that's scary. And what's even more scary, a lot of them people got to get back on the plane to fly back to Minneapolis from Canada after they do whatever business they got to do out there. Hopefully they all live there and they ain't got to get back on the plane. But it ain't really like that. Said it was 6 passengers, 4 of them was crew members. Can you imagine the PTSD from that? Seriously, can you imagine? Every time you hear the engine screaming when it's landing or when it's taking off, you like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. It's wild. Them seatbelts made a difference with that. And they said one baby got rushed to Children's Hospital. You know, they don't put the babies in seatbelts a lot of times. You got to hold the kid. So hopefully that baby's okay. And the other 2 people that was critically injured as well. Said it was 18 people that was hurt altogether. I'm going to be honest with you. I wonder how many people going to press lawsuits. Seriously. I wonder how many people going to press lawsuits. And I wonder if they even win anything because it was an act of nature instead of a mechanical error. Or some of them probably like, man, fuck that. I don't even want to just deal with the shit. I'm glad I'm alive. Let me just get away from the shit. Either way, man, we're starting to see unprecedented catastrophes in such a short amount of time in 2025. We ain't even got past the third page of the damn year, of the recording of the history of the year. And it's all kind of stuff. A train derailed today that I'm not covering. I got other stories. I got a train derail. I mean, things happen. But I mean, maybe they was happening and nobody gave it national attention like it's getting now. But I mean, this is crazy stuff. And I wanted to go to Vegas bad, man. I wanted to see the mountains. I wanted to go and just... You got to make sacrifices. You do, because people depend on you. And sometimes, you know, just because you want something and you need it, it's 2 different things. I wanted to go to Vegas. I didn't need to go. Now, I got court cases coming up, and I promise to take you, the DRC family, with me when I go cover these court cases in various states across the nation, you know, where we're boots on the ground and reporting. I'll still do that, But I mean, as far as something like frivolous, where I'm just like, I'm gonna do this, no. Hell no. Shit. How about you? Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. If I was on that plane, I'd have had incredible footage for y'all. Y'all have saw me running across that frozen tundra and shit, and it ain't even Lambeau Field. I'd have been running like I was a damn running back. I'm gone. They'd be like, damn, you see videos like YouTube was scared as hell. After crashing in the plane, he survived. Just like that show, I Survived. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.